And so we shall start a mountain pose. As we begin our practice, just find your way to the top of your mat and just start to make a connection. And this first connection is just with the ground. Just feel the earth beneath you. Even take a moment to grip your mat with your toes and just notice the texture of your mat underneath you. And just be aware. Notice. And as we establish this connection to the ground, also connect to your breath. Also very foundational, your breathing. You might start with a few deep breaths, a nice full inhale, and a complete exhale. You may do that one more time just to get a sense of the breath, the feeling, the sound. And then you can just settle into slow, steady breaths here, but still being very mindful of your breath. The foundation of our practice. It will help guide you and move you through your practice. Take this time to also set a personal intention for your practice. That could be anything. Something that you're needing for yourself. Perhaps even a wish for someone else. Your yoga practice is a way to open yourself up, to create space. So whatever intention you may have in your heart and in your mind can be received. Our practice today is going to focus on a particular pose. It's called half moon pose. It's a balancing posture. It's an open and expressive posture. Continue to breathe in and out. As you inhale, you might even feel the breath rising upward, filling up your lungs. So just bringing in a little bit more attention, a little bit more energy to the breath. As you exhale, as you're able, draw your navel inward towards your spine. Just a light drawing inward sensation. Again, as you breathe in, just feel tall, lengthening through the spine as your breath rises, filling up your lungs. And then the slow exhale, draw belly in, that light contraction of your abdominal muscles. With all of this, just take 3 more breaths. Prepare your body to move. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just treat it like a nice stretch. All the way up we go. And exhale, we'll fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. You might go all the way down to touch your toes, or this could be a partial fold where your hands maybe land at your shins. Then inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit to perhaps your knees, and extend your spine, a long, flat back. Then exhale, just melt your way back down to a forward fold. Again, that could be a partial fold, or if it feels okay, just hang heavily forward, all the way down. Maybe a more bending in the knees allows you to touch your toes or the ground. And while you're here, just notice. Again, just as you notice the ground beneath you and the sensations underneath the feet, notice what's happening elsewhere in your body. Your back, your legs, your shoulders. Feel free to add movement while you're here. And with any pose, if you feel like you've been here a long time or too long or just long enough, you can always move out of the posture. Good. Let's do another halfway lift. So you'll inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, your knees, and extend your spine. We're going to hold here. This is just half forward fold. That's the name of the posture. So your feet feel rooted and grounded, balanced on 2 feet, a slight bend in the knees, and as best as you can and feel your whole torso is straight, it's parallel to the floor, the energy of your hips and tailbone moving to the back wall, while the crown or the top of your head is moving towards this front wall. Sometimes I might call this monkey pose. And then to continue standing, shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees and lower your hips like you're sitting down into a low chair. Lift your heart, take your arms out and then up, then rise up standing tall, reaching for the sky. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart, or you can bring your arms down to your side. Let's move through that series once again. Whenever you're ready to move, inhale, reaching all the way up. Good energy in your hands and fingertips. Exhale, swan dive forward. A good hinge from hips, bent knees, all the way down or partially down. Inhale, rise up halfway. There's our monkey pose or half forward fold. Then exhale again. Melt your way back down to your forward fold. Release your head, neck, and shoulders there at the end. Ready to stand, shift your weight into your heels, bend your knees like you're sitting, lift your chest, spread your wings, and float all the way back up. Very nice. Reach a little higher as you're able. Exhale, hands to heart or arms down to your side. So what's a half salute to the sun? We're going to move through a full sun salutation here. Whenever you're ready, inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, lead with heart, fold forward. Always okay to bend your knees. Make your way down. Take your time. Inhale, rise up halfway. Feel the crown of your head lead you forward. Now on this exhale, fold. Bend your knees a lot so you can bring your hands to the floor in front of your feet on your mat and walk or step or even hop both feet back to plank pose. You'll end up in a high push-up position, something like this. We'll breathe in right here. On the exhale, bend your knees a little to send your hips right up into the air. I call this a shortcut to downward facing dog, which you can do any time in the practice. And once you're in downward facing dog, you might adjust your feet on your mat, adjust your hands so you just feel settled in, you feel good, you can hold here. But again, you can always rest if you need to come down off of the hands, maybe down to your knees. While you're here, you might pedal the feet, bend your knees, feel the stretch in your calves and toes, some movement in your hips. Ready to move from here. A nice full breath in. Fill up your lungs as best as you can. As you exhale, still draw belly in to connect to your center. Then bend your knees to walk, step, or jump both feet to the top of the mat. You'll return to a forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, monkey pose. Exhale, fold again. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse the swan dive, coming up, reaching into the air. Now on this exhale, take chair pose. Imagine you're sitting back and down into a seat that's behind you. You can stay up high like this. You might sit down low. Breathe in. And the exhale, let's dive out of the seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. We'll continue and add on. Inhale, rise up halfway, flat back monkey pose. Exhale all the way down to the earth with the hands. Walk, step, or jump the feet back to plank pose. Hold for a moment. As before, you can take that same shortcut to down dog by lifting the hips, or finish the push-up. Bend your elbows and lower your way down to the ground. You can even bring knees to the floor first, then chest. That's perfect. And then a back bend. It could be a low cobra, something like this, or upward facing dog. Straightening the arms, lifting the chest and hips. Exhale onto toes, lifting knees and hips, right up into the air. Your return to downward facing dog. Adjust your feet and hands to feel the full arrival in the posture. Let's add on. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reaching for the back wall. When you exhale, let's step the right foot up to the top of the mat. Land it near right hand, and then you'll turn your left foot or left heel to the floor behind you. Just turn the foot and place it on the ground. Shifting the body weight back into that foot so your hands are light, and then hinge from hips and rise up. Let's just hold warrior one just for a moment. Reach high. Lunge low, just so you can feel a light stretch in the left leg here. We'll breathe in and exhale, just hinge forward. Make your way back down to the ground with the hands. We'll slide or pull that right foot back to meet the other, plank pose. Modify this flow if you like. Knees to the floor, then chest for chaturanga. You can always take the shortcut to downward facing dog or continue through the flow into up dog and then finally into downward facing dog. Rest whenever you need to. Other side when you're ready. Inhale, extend left leg up and back. Exhale, stepping through. Left foot to the top of the mat. You can even pick up the foot and place it there as you need to. Then turn your right heel to the floor. You've got it. Once you feel ready, rise up. Warrior one. We'll hold here. Reach high. Lunge low. We're breathing in. And exhale to hinge forward. Make your way back down to the floor with the hands. Slide the left foot back. There's plank pose. Complete the series. Take the shortcut if you'd like. Meeting together in downward facing dog. A breath or two in down dog. And then we'll make our way down to the earth. You can just kneel down, just bring your knees to the floor. Sit back briefly, and this is hero pose, just to get off the hands. And then sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front. Scoot so you're sitting in the center of your mat, and then roll down onto your back. And once you're here, just draw your knees into chest. Take a moment to get reacquainted with your breath. Just take some deep breaths. Even add some movement here. A little massage for the hips and your back. We're going to move into bridge pose here. So you're going to set your feet onto the floor, knees stay bent. Now your feet and knees can be hip distance apart here, but perfectly fine to take the feet a little wider if that feels better. Greater stability might happen there. Breathing in to fill up the lungs. Exhale to empty your belly. And then lift your hips off the floor. Just lifting the hips. You don't have to lift too high. You can even slide a block underneath you and sit on the block. Or if you can, just keep lifting the hips up into the air. You can even use your hands and lift yourself up or hold yourself up. Another way to help support the upper body is just to bend your arms, bend your elbows so your arms are at 90 degrees, and press down into the mat with your triceps and elbows to help lift and open your heart space. Deep breaths. Very active posture. You'll probably feel this throughout the body. Good, just 2 more breaths. And to come out of the pose, just wiggle the feet forward a little bit. Extend your arms straight up into the air. This should make some space so you can safely roll back down to the ground. And once you've made it all the way down, yes, extend your legs out front to reach your arms behind you. And just reach and stretch in these opposite directions. Good. And once again, draw both knees into chest. Another little hug. And just set your left foot onto the floor so the knee will still be bent. You're going to extend your right leg into the air. So just hold onto the leg with both hands. The knee can be bent. That's fine. Just hold onto the leg just to get an initial leg stretch here. So we're working hamstrings in our posture. So half moon is a balancing pose. You'll be balancing on one foot. It's a leg extension. So let's just introduce that leg extension here. And then go ahead and bend that leg and set the foot onto the floor. Let's draw the other knee in and extend the left leg into the sky. And just hold onto the leg. Again, it's okay to keep the knee bent if that feels better. You can feel like you're reaching for the ceiling through the heel of the foot. So you might flex the foot slightly. And we'll bend this left knee, hug it into chest. We'll go ahead and draw that right knee in. And carefully rock forward and back, a little momentum, and exhale to help rock your way up to seated, or you might even roll to one side like this and press yourself up to seated. Moving into boat pose. So boat pose can be done like this, with the knees bent, feet or heels on the floor, and somewhat extended. So it just takes some of the pressure away from the hip flexors. So this could be your pose. Or draw them in. This is going to activate hip flexors a little bit more if you draw the heels in. And of course, lifting the feet. So lots of variations of the posture. But I think you can still work core, even here. Part of it is just really leaning back and getting this torso to be straight. And breath. Breathe in, fill up the lungs. Exhale through the mouth to empty the belly to engage. Okay? You might free up the hands. You can always hold on. Lots of ways to be here. Ready to move, we'll breathe in like you're floating up off the ground. Then exhale, you might cross legs, hands in front to hop back into plank pose, or maybe just hands to the side and just swing the feet back. We're just going to return to plank pose here. Top of the push-up. We'll take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend the knees, send your hips into the air. Let's continue with our lunge sequence. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Exhale, step through. Take your time with this transition. If your foot doesn't make it up to the top of the mat all the way, take your time to wiggle it there, pick it up and place it there. Left heel to the floor, rising up, first warrior. We're going to exhale and open to the left side of the room to your warrior two. That's it. Just being sure your right knee and your right set of toes are pointing directly forward. Good, nice knee bend in front. Straight-ish leg back there. Nice and tall. And then side angle, reaching forward to angle the upper half of the body. Rotate the arms, right hand reaching down, left hand reaching into the air. Now the right hand, it might touch the floor, but you don't have to touch the floor. You can be much higher up if that feels better. Deep breaths here. So warrior, or the side angle pose we do all the time. But it's actually a posture that's going to prepare us for our half moon pose. Let's breathe in. And the exhale to unwind and fold. Bring your hands down to the floor. And step back into downward facing dog. Both feet on the ground. Hips in the air, both feet on the ground. Ready for the other side. So inhale to extend left leg up. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Once landed, right heel turns to the floor, finding your center and balance with light hands. Hinge from hips to rise up. Exhale, opening to the right side of the room. Dropping arms to parallel, warrior two. Make some adjustments with the feet if you need to. Nice deep lunge. Tall torso, outstretched arms. Follow the left arm forward. Good angled upper body. Rotate the arms. Reach high, reach low. Remember, it's okay to stay up high if you'd like to. You can always just kind of test things out. Just notice how the body feels. Well, maybe I can go a little lower. So just check it out. Nice open expansiveness in the heart space. Just as I mentioned, half moon has that same quality. So we practice it here. Opening up through the heart. Let's breathe in. And exhale to turn and fold. Bring your hands down to the floor. Back to our downward facing dog, both feet on the ground. Hips in the air, breathing in, ready to move. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose, just extending the spine. Back to the fold with an exhale. Feel the body weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees like you're sitting. And then come all the way up, nice and tall. Reach into the sky. This exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Good. You can kind of shake things out. Check in with the body. Notice how you're feeling. Get a sip of water. Alrighty. So half moon is a balancing pose. We usually start with a tree pose to introduce balance. So make sure the feet are rooted, grounded, balanced on 2 feet. Soft knees here, and start shifting your weight into your right foot. Yeah, root into the floor, press firmly into the floor with the right foot, and then feel tall up top. So you're moving in these opposite directions. Exhale, draw belly in, like boat pose. We'll pick up the left foot, flexing the foot, maybe thighs parallel to the floor here, then swing the knee towards the window or towards the left side of the room. And then placing the foot on the inside of your standing leg. I always go to my calf. You can go there. You can even go lower, using the ground if you want to, yeah? Or bring the foot up to the inner thigh. Once you've got the foot in place, we'll inhale and take the arms up into the air, and then might go straight up, maybe out a bit at an angle. You can even bend the elbows. Just strong, active, yeah. Then finding something to focus on, maybe directly forward or even down at the floor. For me, it helps if there's something that has texture or color to help focus on. We're going to keep the arms as they are. We're going to swing that left knee forward. Lift your knee with the flexed foot right there. Plant the foot into the ground, and then you can bring your arms back down to your side, and then kind of shake things out. Shoulders. Take a deep breath. Check in with your hips. That standing foot. And getting ready for the other side. So returning to balance on 2 feet, soft knees, weight shift to left foot, press, strong leg, long spine as you inhale, exhale, core connection. We'll peel that right foot up, flex the foot to activate the leg, yeah? We'll swing it out. Even if it stops there, that's fine. Or a little bit more if you've got the space. Place it on the inside of your standing leg. There's our hip opener. Another component of our half moon pose is also a hip opener. A nice extension of both arms into the air. Reach, lift, very active. Even if your arms are bent, active hands. Keep breathing. Inhale to lift, exhale to lock. That's the belly drawing in, and then focus. We call it drishti or dristi. You're focusing on something. That's the meditative quality or concentration quality of the posture. We'll keep the arms extended. We'll swing that right knee forward, lifting knee with a flexed foot. We'll plant it into the ground, and the arms can return to your side to finish. And then shake it all loose. Let it go. Take a breath. We're going to continue our flow. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms out and up, big stretch. Exhale, lead with heart, fold forward, soft knees. Make your way down, still moving at your own pace. Inhale, monkey pose, long, flat back. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the ground. Hop or step back into plank pose. Come down if you like, Chaturanga Dandasana, that's finishing the push-up, or take the shortcut or some variation of movement until you make your way to downward facing dog. So you can make things up if you want to here. And just meet in down dog. Adjust your hands, adjust your feet once you arrive. And then inhale, extend your right leg up. Hold on the exhale. Keep breathing in and out just to feel longer. Like you're really reaching for that back wall or ceiling. Hands are pressing more firmly into the ground. We're going to open the hip here. Just bend your knee, so your right knee. And bring your heel down towards your backside like you're going to kick yourself. And then lift that knee into the air just a little bit, just a little. You'll get a slight turn of the body towards the right side of the room. Good. Breathe in. And the exhale to unwind the body, then step the right foot to the top of the mat. Again, take your time with all of this. Left heel turns to the floor. Once you feel stable and strong there, then rise up, Warrior 1. Exhale, open to Warrior 2. We're going to change this or work our way to triangle pose. So you're going to straighten the front leg, And if your feet happen to be really far apart, you can actually bring the feet much closer together for this pose, okay? You want to have straight legs, long torso. And then triangle, we reach out over that right leg that's straight, then rotate the body, reach down, reach up, just like that. Okay, so very similar to the side angle when the front leg was bent. This time the leg is straight, so we can get into the hamstring. So remember, we're working with leg extensions. Opening up through the heart. Some of these postures, I just call them sideways poses. Warrior 2, side angle, triangle, even half moon is a sideways pose. To come out of the posture, you're going to bend the right knee, lunging, creating leverage so you can come up and through a Warrior 2, and then reverse your warrior by taking your right hand up into the air for several breaths. Yeah, just to get a little stretch through the right side of your body. We're still bending the right knee. Doesn't have to be too much, but it's bent and kind of lunging forward. And then from here, a big windmill like you're doing a cartwheel, all the way around and down to the floor with the hands. Back to plank pose. Hold for a moment just to straighten the body. Another shortcut from here to downward facing dog. Soft knees, hips into the sky. Other side, same thing. Inhale, extend left leg up. Hold on the exhale. Keep breathing to feel longer. Energy in that back or lifted left foot, reaching for the wall or ceiling. Hands root into the floor. Then open the hip by bending the knee. A little lift of the knee, slight twist or rotation towards the left side of the room. You're good. Notice, feel what's happening here. Let's breathe in, and the exhale to unwind it so you can step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel will plant into the ground. Find your centering. Light hands. Float up, Warrior 1. Exhale, opening to Warrior 2. Arrive in Warrior 2. And then we'll set up for triangle. So you're straightening the left leg. If the feet are too far apart, bring them a little closer together. Perfectly fine. Just be sure the legs are straight. Tall in the torso, outstretched arms. Let's follow the left arm forward. Angle the upper half of the body. Rotate the arms. Reaching up, reaching down. So you feel the opening in the center. Feel the lengthening or that stretch quality in the left leg. Some nice deep breathing. Yes. Good. Again, coming out of the posture, we're going to bend the left knee, lunge, giving you leverage to come up, pass through the warrior two, reverse your warrior by taking left hand up into the air. Reach up, even slightly behind you if that feels okay. Lengthening, opening up through the left side of the body, still lunging forward through the left knee. Couple breaths. Even feel like you're expanding the left side, through the lungs, the rib cage. Then here comes our windmill or cartwheel all the way around and down to the floor. In front, step back, plank pose. Hold for a moment. Just feel how the body realigns here. Bend your knees, send your hips into the sky, back to down dog. Another lunge series. You're going to extend your right leg up and away. Keep it straight. And then right foot to the top of the mat. Stay here. We're going to keep the left heel lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward, but still find your center here. So you might shift the body weight back so the hands are still light. We're going to rise up. This is high lunge. So arms in the air, reach high, lunge low. Again, that left heel is lifted behind us. Everything's facing directly forward. And another breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold, and right back to down dog. Both feet on the floor. Same thing on the other side. Our high lunge series. Inhale, extend left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel stays lifted, but still find your center. Then hinge from hips, rise up, reach into the air. Hold here. There's some centering going on to help with balance. Because that back heel is not on the floor, it might make the body wiggle a little bit. So you want to hug to center. We still do the belly pulling in, but also feel like your inner legs are squeezing in towards each other to activate the legs. Even feel like you're holding on to something over your head. Breathe in. Exhale, hinge and fold. Hands down to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Okay, back down to the floor we go. You can kneel down to take a seat or hop forward, cross your legs and take a seat. You're going to swing the legs around to the front. Keep some space out in front of you because you're going to extend your legs. Flex your feet here. Legs mostly straight, but if you need to put a bend in the knees, put a bend in the knees. Staff pose. Just bring your hands to the floor by your hips, just pressing into the floor to help assist the lengthening of the torso. If the shoulders feel like they're coming forward like this, you just want to roll the shoulders back and down. Even squeeze shoulder blades together behind you. Just activate the body. So we have flexed feet, strong straight legs. We're pressing down to lift up, shoulders rolled back. Staff pose. A couple breaths here. We'll change this into a forward fold so we can get more into the legs. So more leg extension. When you're ready, inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward just a little bit, not much, and then just lower your hands just to the legs or the floor. Doesn't matter where they land. Inhale, keep extending and lifting through the torso at this angle. Exhale as you're able, pull belly in. Maybe take a small step down the legs with the hands and hinge forward. Initially, you might want to keep the legs straight and your back straight, but it's okay to bend the knees, even round your back. That might even give you more space so you can go a little deeper without compromising the body. So holding here for several breaths. Feel the stretch of the legs. And if their back happens to be rounded, that nice curvature, you might feel a stretch through the back body. And wherever you are, because we're in this forward fold, see if you can breathe into your back body. Just as we sometimes say, breathe into your heart space or front body, fill up your chest and lungs. This time, fill up the lungs, but also fill up your back. Feel it kind of puff up. Two more breaths. If you're holding onto your feet or legs, free up the hands, reach forward. Inhale, hinge your way back up so you're nice and tall, reaching for the ceiling. Exhale, you just bring your hands down by your side, just a brief moment in staff. And then relax. Let's get the stretch out of the legs by bending the knees to bring the feet together for cobbler's pose or bound angle pose. Bound because we're holding on to the legs or feet. Angle because of the bent knees. And just sit up nice and tall. Stay tall here so you can see me because I'm going to demonstrate something. It's going to be part of our practice. So I've got two blocks, and I've got them near the back end of the mat. Okay, if I was in down dog, so they're kind of near the back end of the mat. So I'm going to do my left leg here. I'm going to extend my left leg into the sky and start really reaching, even lifting it up. And that lifting up sensation, do your best. You're going to start walking your hands towards the foot that's on the floor, okay, and towards the back of the mat like this. You can even bring in these blocks to help you lift. Okay, we're getting more leg extension through that standing leg. So we're doing a modification of standing splits. Okay, so if you can do the split standing, go ahead and do so. So that would mean bringing your head down to your shin, foot pointing towards the ceiling. Lily can do this. Okay. Alrighty. And then we got to walk our way back out. It's like you're doing a handstand, but you have a foot on the floor. Walk our way back out, right into our lunge. Okay. All right. So so grab your blocks and have them back there somewhere, so they're ready to go. And then we'll return to our boat pose. So you can bring the knees together, set it up like you did earlier. Straighter legs just to get out of the hip flexors a little bit. Energize feet, heels on the floor, but mainly long torso with breath. And then any variation here, right? Okay, just to get into that core action, yes. Activate your feet. You might want to flex the feet or point your toes. It'll just keep the legs strong where they are. Okay, here we go. Breathe in like you're floating up. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side, so we can get the feet back behind us, plank pose. Let's go ahead and finish this sequence. It's been a while. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or a low cobra, just a lower back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's try that standing split sequence. So you're going to inhale, extend your right leg up. Hold. And really reach through that foot like you're reaching for the ceiling or the back wall, but kind of up, an upward sensation. So your hands can feel a little lighter, and just start walking your hands back to that left foot that's on the floor till the heel is on the ground. Bring in those blocks if you need them. Okay, so you just feel a little bit more support. Just bring them in, and there you are. Yes, that's it. That's all it is. Good energetic lifted leg. Just flex the foot. Doesn't have to be high necessarily. It's just activated. It's up. Good. All right. You can do that little handstand walk back out to the front of the mat. Walk the hands forward. And then we're going to bring that right foot to the top of the mat. So go back to a high lunge. Left heel stays lifted behind you. Find your center. And then rise up. Okay, we're not going to do it now, but it's going to show you now, but we're not going to do it now. From here, from a high lunge, later, we're going to fly forward. We're going to fly into a warrior 3 position, but you'll have your blocks repositioned up here, and you can use your blocks up here, okay? So from your high lunge, inhale. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Finish your flow, or take the shortcut if you want to. Meet in down dog, so we can do the same series. Our standing split segment. Inhale, extend your left leg into the air, reaching back. And that lifting sensation to bring a little bit of lightness to the upper body. With an exhale, just engage your core, because that might help to walk your hands towards right foot until the heel is on the ground. Bring in the blocks if you want, or just rise up onto your fingertips. Okay? You're already doing the balance work, so it doesn't matter if the leg is low. That left leg does not have to be really high up. If it is, it is. Just activate it. Good. Our standing splits. Yes. Gets in that hip, doesn't it? All right. Let's Handstand walk forward. There we go. So we're still in down dog. That left leg is lifted. And once you're at the top of the mat with the hands, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Right heel stays lifted. Shift to find your center. Rise when you're ready. Hold. Reach high, lunge low. Don't forget to hug to center. Legs. So feel the legs engage. Core. Pull in. Hold on to something up here. That same thing. We're not going to do it yet. We're going to be flying into a warrior three. Okay, breathing in and exhale, hinge and fold. Hands to the floor, back to plank pose. Complete the series as you'd like. Modify it or skip it. Once in down dog, just a breath or two. And then bring knees to the floor. Sit back into hero. This is hero. And then we're going to move the blocks to the top of the mat. So we're going to do that next segment that I just demonstrated. You can even have the blocks turned up like that, okay? So again, a quick demo. So we're going to do the leg lift. We're going to go to a high lunge. We'll hold it here, but once we get into the sequence, it'll be more like a momentum to launch ourselves forward, okay? But we'll hold initially, and then a nice inhale. Exhale, maybe bring your arms forward, hands down. See the blocks, catch the blocks with the hands, shifting weight forward so that left leg can go in the air. Okay? So you'll end up here. When we finish, we're going to bring this lifted leg in, round your spine. Okay, like you're doing cat pose. Okay, there, then just set the foot down, balance on 2 feet, and we'll finish the flow and do the other side. So from your hero, blocks are up front. Let's come to a downward facing dog. We'll do that series. So our warrior 3 series, but we're using the blocks. Inhale, extend right leg up. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat for high lunge. Left heel stays lifted. Rise up, yeah? Good. Yeah, reach high, lunge low, hug to center. To kind of rev up, it's a bit of a back bend. You're going to inhale like just lifting like back bend. Exhale, look at the blocks. Hands down, catch the blocks, launch forward to balance on the right foot. Hands on the blocks, left leg goes in the air. It can stay parallel to the floor, that left leg that's lifted. Alrighty? Just reaching to the back wall is fine. Maybe even rise up onto fingertips on the blocks. Yeah, so you kind of draw this capital T with the body. Perfect. All right, coming out of the pose, bend the left knee, bring it in towards your chest, let the back round, like cat pose. Bring the left foot to the floor, balance on 2 feet. You can even take monkey pose, still hands on blocks if that's fine. Fold, bring hands to the floor, and just walk or step or hop feet back into plank pose. Feel free to take a shortcut to down dog or complete a full vinyasa. Vinyasa is just your flow. And we'll just do the other side, same sequence. Whenever you're ready, inhale, extend left leg into the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Setting yourself up for high lunge. Right heel is lifted. Good. Yes, always take your time. Listen to your body each time. Reach high, lunge low, hug to center. As you inhale, maybe a slight back bend. Exhale, launch forward. See the blocks, hands to the blocks. Launch to balance on left foot, right leg is lifted, just parallel to the floor is fine. Reaching straight back. Good. Yeah, you might even shift the body back a bit so that the hands can lift off the blocks if you want. Okay? If you reach forward with the arms, that's warrior 3. Yes. But you're certainly welcome to use the blocks for balance. Coming out of the pose, hands to the floor, blocks, right knee towards chest, rounding the spine like cat pose, foot to the ground. Weight shift to both feet. Weight in the heels. Now let's reverse the swan dive here, coming all the way up, reaching into the sky. Stretch. Exhale, arms down to your side. Shake it loose. Okay. All right, so the next part of that, after our warrior 3, now we're going to open it up to our half moon. So let me demonstrate. So I'll do it on my right foot. So because of how we've gotten into the posture, your right foot, in this case, will probably be pointing forward. Okay, so here's my warrior 3. Certainly use the blocks. Okay. Now, my right leg and inner leg is quite flexible. It's even more flexible than my left. And so I'm going to give you 2 versions of this. My one hand is on this one block here, this left hand's free. I'm flexing the left foot, giving a bit of a lift. As I'm lifting, I'm allowing the hip to open. Okay, just turning sideways here. Okay, again, I have some flexibility here, so I can open up. Just turning the heart sideways. This is a sideways pose. And then the left hand reaching into the air. Be sure that left foot stays flexed. You can see I'm still looking down. That's my drishti. I'm just looking down at the floor because it's just helping me with balance. You can certainly turn your focus away. This is going to challenge the balance. Okay. And you cringe and just make a scary noise and face. Okay. So that's one way to be in the posture. That's if you've got the flexibility in the leg. Okay. If not, what you can do, once we're kind of getting ready for the pose, you can even bring this back foot down. I'm going to turn my right foot towards the left or just turn it inward. I'm turning it in a lot. Okay. Okay, with that leg turned in as it is, you're going to be able to open up much easier. Okay. Because that leg's turned in. Okay. Focus up, to the side, or down. And same thing to get out of the pose. We're going to square out everything here. Knee in, foot to the floor. Release. Alrighty. Okay, so let's try this out. So you got your blocks ready. Mountain pose. Let's take the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive. Hands to shins or ankles or toes. Then inhale, slide the hands up the legs to monkey pose. As you exhale, bring the hands out onto the blocks. We're shifting our energy and weight into the right foot and right hand. Now, since we haven't lifted the left foot yet, you can even turn the right foot inward if you want to at this juncture. Pick up the left foot by bending the knee, lift the foot, and extend the left leg straight back behind you, like you're reaching for the back wall. Now flex that left foot. Flex it, strongly. And as you lift it, feel the hips start to open towards the left side of the room. Then your belly, your heart, and maybe you can take your hand up into the air. Now your focus can stay on the ground. That might help with balance. To challenge the balance, look to the left side of the room or up past your left hand. This is half moon pose. Inhale. Exhale, let's return this left hand to the block. Square out the hips. Cat pose. Bring that left knee into chest, rounding the spine. Set the foot onto the floor. Balance on 2 feet. Keep the hands on the blocks. Take a monkey pose. Just extend the spine like you're coming forward. Then exhale, fold again. Soften the knees a little bit. Hands can stay on blocks. We're just doing the other side. Start shifting weight into the left foot. So the right foot will feel a little lighter, but start turning the left toes in if you want to. Then pick up the right foot and extend it straight back behind you. Find the wall. Flex the foot. Lift the leg. And as you lift, the hip opens and starts to point towards the ceiling. You're turning sideways, so your heart, your belly, facing the right side of the room. And maybe your right hand can reach for the sky too. Nice. To challenge the balance, maybe you're looking up past right hand, or look straight ahead, or even down at the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, let's turn so you can return to the earth or the blocks with the right hand. Square out the hips. Cat pose, right knee to chest. Little rounded spine, foot to the ground. Monkey pose just to extend, then fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up, reach high. Exhale, arms down to your side. Okay? Shake it loose here. Now we just have the one set of blocks. We're going to probably keep the blocks up here. Okay? Even though we did that segment, we had the blocks behind us, but we're not going to have those blocks behind us. Because we are going to do that standing splits again. Just watch me. I'm going to quickly go through our sequence. Okay, I'm coming down, monkey pose, hop or step back. You can go through this vinyasa here if you'd like. We'll meet in down dog. And we're going to take a leg up into the air and walk the hands back, even if you're just onto fingertips. We're not going to be here too long. Okay, just get that nice stretch through the standing leg and extended back leg. And then just handstand walk our way back. We're going to go through a full series, a warrior 1. Okay, warrior 2, triangle. Lunge, lift, reverse warrior. We're going to windmill. Back to down dog, right leg back up into the air. Here comes the high lunge where we launch to warrior three. You can bring that back foot down, turn that right foot in if you need to, and then opening up to our half moon. That's our segment. Okay, you got it? Go. Didn't you get it? No? Mountain pose. Take a breath. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Remember, modify whenever you need to. Rest whenever you need to. Monkey pose. Here, monkey. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Hop or step back. Plank pose. Come down if you'd like. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or a cobra pose. Or skip it and meet the group in downward facing dog here. Get ready for your standing splits. Extend your right leg up. Keep lifting that leg. Walk your hands towards left foot until heel is on the floor. Pause for a second so you can feel this wonderful extension in both legs. And then handstand your hands back. Walk your hands to the front, to the top of the mat. Sorry about that. And then right foot to the top of the mat. Back to a warrior one setup. Left heel to the floor behind you. Rising up. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Take this to triangle. Straighten the front leg. Yeah. Shifting out over the right leg. We're just going to make our legs nice and stretchy here. Now we'll bend the right knee. A lunge. So we can come up, pass through your warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Right hand in the air. Big windmill, bring the hands to the floor, going back to down dog, but sweep the right foot back and up into the air. We're going for high lunge. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel stays lifted. Rise up, we're still flowing. So a little back bend, a little launch. See the blocks? Catch. With the hands, lift that left leg. Once you're here, you can set that left foot back down if you want to. Turn right foot inward if you'd like, and then re-lift that left leg. Flex the foot, lift it. Open. Yes, whatever you need to do there. Nice. There's the challenge. I love it. If you can take that right hand off the block. There you go. Good job. Yes. Okay, bring the left hand back down to the block. Square out the hips. Cat. Bring that knee into chest, rounded spine, foot to the floor. Okay, monkey pose. Exhale, fold and bend. Hands to the floor now. Hop or step back, plank pose. Come on down, Chaturanga Dandasana, or modify the flow. Yeah, up dog, downward facing dog. Standing splits other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. You can immediately start walking the hands towards the right foot, heels on the ground. Feel that nice extension there. There you go. And then the handstand walk to the top of the mat with the hands. Warrior one, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the floor, feel centered, float hands into the air. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Triangle setup, straighten the left leg, reach out, tip it over, stretchy legs. See how this feels almost like, or it's similar to our half moon? Okay, let's bend the left knee, lunge, lift to reverse the warrior, left hand into the air. You've got it. Then our big windmill to bring the hands down to the floor, back to down dog. Sweep the left foot back and up into the air. Left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Find your center, right heel's lifted, all 10 toes pointing forward. Little back bend there and launch, fly, warrior three. You can just keep hands reaching forward or bring the hands down to the blocks. If you need to, set the right foot down, turn the left foot inward. Okay, and then relift the right leg. Flex the foot to lift the leg. Open up sideways. Sideways posture. Focus down or to the side or up. And if you find your center, shifting the weight back a little bit, lightness in that left hand, you might be able to lift the hand off the ground or off the block, even for a millisecond, okay? Inhale, well done. Exhale, return to the block with the right hand, square out the hips, cat pose, right knee to chest. Set the foot down, forward fold, just hang there for a moment. Take a breath. Just be sure you're still breathing. Monkey pose, extending through the spine. Fold, hands to the floor. Walk, step, or hop both feet back. Plank pose. Finish as you'd like. Meeting in down dog. We're going to shoulder stand, which is another leg extension, but it's also an upside down pose. Several ways you can do this. You can hop forward, cross legs, and take a seat, or just kneel down, take a seat. You're going to roll back, take the legs and hips up into the air. Catch yourself in your hands. Okay, some variations, lots of variations. You can sit in your hands if your hips are off the floor. Or if you need to or want to, you can always bring your hips back down to the floor and just extend the legs in the air. You can even bring the feet to the floor from here. Lift your hips, slide a block or two underneath you, and then extend the legs in the air. If you want a little extra support, yeah? Okay. If you're sitting in your hands in that shoulder stand, the perfect place to be, or if you want to get really straight up and down, you might want to walk your hands more towards the center of your back to free up your hips. That way you might be able to lift and really extend the whole body. So you're straight up and down. So maybe your ankle bones are aligned, perhaps even over the shoulders. Or even your shoulder blades, really. You can stay here or even attempt plow pose. You can take the straight legs down behind you, or bend the knees, bring your knees towards your forehead. So the knees can be bent here. Then extend the legs or keep the knees bent. Not going to be there too long. Okay. Carefully, slowly, with support of your hands on your body, roll your way back down to the ground. You'll extend your legs out in front of you. Going to fish pose, which is a back bend. You can do any back bend here, but fish, you're going to be lying flat, legs straight, but you're going to get your arms underneath you. You're going to have to squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit, get your arms underneath. You're going to end up sitting on your hands. Your palms are down, arms are straight up. And then pressing like your elbows pretty much into the floor to lift your upper body like you're rising up out of a bed. And then arch your back, creating the back bend, tip the head back, and maybe the crown of the head touches the floor very lightly, no weight on the head. Or you might be propped up high enough where your head doesn't touch the ground. A couple breaths here. This is fish pose, Matsyasana. If you're in this fish posture, to get out of the pose, lift your head off the floor, tuck your chin towards your chest, lie down, and then get your arms out from underneath you and just take a moment in Shavasana just to feel the body release. Let's add one more pose, maybe two. You can bring the knees in. You have a choice here. You can move into happy baby pose or any other hip opener. Okay? Be reclining cobbler's pose. Just a little hip stretch and release if you want. Okay, if you want to bypass that, you can just move right into a spinal twist, hugging the knees into the body, taking the knees to one side, maybe to the left, while your right arm extends to the right. You can do both of those things, those hip openers and the twists, or just choose one of those that might feel good at this moment, or anything else, something different that your body is needing right here. Just taking the time that you need, moving into the poses that feel good, mostly as a relief and release from what we've done. Letting it all go. But at the same time, kind of absorbing the benefits of the postures. Whenever you feel complete, you can make your way to Shavasana or any other relaxing, restorative position. That might be lying on your side. That might even be a seated position. Something that's comfortable and supported. Take the time that you need to finish any movements that you're doing here. Again, there's no rush. But you do want to give yourself some time in that disengaging posture. As you eventually make your way to your relaxing pose, just settle in, softer breath. And maybe a return to your personal intention. And even if you did not set an intention at the beginning of your practice, you can always set an intention now. No need to move just yet. Just stay mindful of your breath. Just return to your breathing. Once again, return to your breath. Notice your breath. And with this awareness, take 5 slow, deep breaths with the intention of bringing energy to the body and movement to your body. Having moved through this practice to create these openings, feeling expansive, free, liberated. Feeling movement return to your body as you're breathing. Feel ready, no rush, take your time, roll onto either side of your body, and just hold briefly on your side in this nurturing pose. And then from here, still moving in slow motion, guide your way up to seated. Sitting up nice and tall and proud, extended spine, and open heart. Your arms and hands can just stay down by your side and in your lap, or you can bring hands to heart center. Wherever you are, just taking one more full breath in and out. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow saying, Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste. Have you been thinking about doing a yoga teacher training? Well, you're in luck. If you're in the Salt Lake City area, my Embody Yoga School is offering a 200-hour in-person vinyasa yoga teacher training program. It begins January 21st, 2023, and runs through April 23rd. The cost is $900 for the entire course. We will use the 8 limbs of yoga as our foundation for learning about yoga history, philosophy, anatomy, ethics, and practice. You will learn how to teach sequenced yoga classes by the end of the training. You'll also be a registered yoga teacher under Yoga Alliance. If you're interested or know someone who might like to participate, contact me, John Cottrell, at john@embody.org. You can also visit my website, johncottrell.com, and visit the link to my upcoming yoga teacher training in 2023.